once, you'd have him twice. Cancel the dancer, it'll happen thrice.
They're walking through the mine. All of a sudden, one starts tripping down and it's a hot chick.
I loved the killer in this movie.
That's when he's also like, I want you. And she's just like, I don't know what I want.
From the heart comes a warning filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happened as the 14th draws near.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Think Outside the Box Office, the show where we review movies that can be viewed from the comfort of your couch. Valentine's Day is nearly upon us. Love is in the air. And without a rom-com that we weren't feeling it, we decided to go horror, right? Because I think horror-themed holiday movies, it kind of works. I got to say, this week, we got the original My Bloody Valentine from 1981. In December, we did Krampus. There's Halloween, right? Which everyone's seen. Every horror fan has seen Halloween. These are kind of cool. I really like this one. This was director George Mihalka. Hope I'm saying that right. I looked at some of his credits. He doesn't really have a whole lot of other stuff that I've seen. My first time viewing this, I really like this. I don't really know how high this sits on other slasher fans' lists. I really dug this one. Tyler, what was your first thoughts on this one, man? Because this was your first time too, right?
Yeah, this was my first time seeing this. I was aware of it. I knew there was a remake. When I first started watching it, I was a little iffy about it. I was like, this could go either way. And then I think it was about 20 minutes in, I was like, oh, okay. I see what's going on here. And then from there, I started liking it more and more. Yeah, I ended up really enjoying this. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
I agree.
Nice.
Derek, what about you, man? Had you seen this before?
No, I have. This is my first viewing on this one as well.
Okay.
I saw the remake first, which is probably not the right approach, but it took me a second to actually find a copy of my original or the original My Bloody Valentine. But first time watching it, I really liked it. Like all things 80s horror, I just like it sucked me in. The effects were awesome. The story's really simple. The characters, like kind of tropey, but they did what they needed to do. But overall, man, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
This was surprisingly good. I found myself surprised at how much I like this one. And I'll say out the gate, it hooked me in the first scene.
That first scene was cool. The first scene was awesome, but I think like the next 10 or 15 minutes, I didn't love so much. Like I didn't like the stuff in like the locker, or not the locker room, but the shower and
yeah, right.
Yeah, that opening bit, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like these people. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And then I think it was like in the laundromat scene when I really got sucked in.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. This was really cool. Looking at the cast of this movie, I don't know if you guys took a dive into their history or anything. It looks like these guys have done a lot of stuff. Not anything I've seen or anything that popular, I get, mainstream, I should say.
Yeah, nothing really jumped out at me. I saw the director. Would he do a lot of like TV shows and
a lot of TV
maybe
stuff,
some like made for TV movies or something?
Right.
Nothing really that I could recognize. I was hoping maybe Derek knew a little bit more, but I think this was like a small production in Canada, so maybe that's why.
Agreed. Yeah,
I was gonna say it feels very low budget in the sense of like the cast is unknown, a lot of the crew's unknown. Even the special effects artist I've never heard of, but he did a stellar job. And I feel like that's just kind of how things were, especially back in like the early like boom of like the slashers. Like after Friday the 13th came out in 1980, it kind of started that trend. It really like so many spun out after that. So like you're gonna have a cornucopia of like low budget tier type crews and films and such, but overall, man, they killed it though. I thought they did great.
yeah, I agree.
I kind of disagree. I don't think the acting was very good.
Yeah, I can see it at some spots. Some people.
I thought some of the writing was bad, and I thought some of the acting was bad, but I found myself enjoying the movie anyway.
Nice.
I think I didn't think any of it was all that bad. Like I think I told you guys I watched the original Prom Night which was the year before this came out. You want to talk bad, let's talk Prom Night sometime. This, I thought, was miles above it. I was like, this is great. There were a bit of weird dialogue that you could attribute to the genre and like the time and like how it was made and different stuff. But I didn't think the acting was all that bad, surprisingly.
There's one character I really didn't like, Howard. I could not stand Howard the whole movie.
Oh, dude, the practical jokester, yeah.
Yeah, he was being a jokester. Yeah, he was like snorting soda up his nose and like, oh, I did the right nostril. Now here's the left nostril. It's like, I don't even get the joke you're trying to make. Was he talking about, was he snorting Coke, because it's a soda, like a Coke? I don't know. I didn't get the joke.
Be healthy. Like that shit in there and get sticky and stuff. Like that'd be terrible. Like that. All that just to be funny. Like terrible.
I guess it must have been Coca-Cola because he kept talking about it being cocaine. And I was like, it's a liquid. It doesn't even make sense. But I guess if it was Coca-Cola, I guess maybe it went over my head. Maybe I was too dumb to get the joke. So yeah,
I liked the joke where like he was in the mine and he like hung upside down and scared him. Like I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
that was good.
But every other thing Howard did, I was like, get this guy out of here.
Okay.
There's one character I really liked, which was Hollis. I thought he was cool.
Dude,
Hollis was really cool. Yeah.
I was just about to ask you guys, like, we're all in agreement on Howard sucking, but who's your favorite? Looks like we're all in agreement again here. Yeah, Hollis was awesome.
Yeah, he was cool.
I will say he makes the dumb mistake of staying in the mine after riding it down because they're supposed to just go down and come up, right? And then he's like, well, I guess we can take the tour. We're getting ahead of ourselves there. Before we dive into this plot, guys, if you like what we're doing, make sure to follow us. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music. You can find us. We're out there. We got plenty of episodes for you to go and enjoy. Check it out. Tyler, give me the basic plot of this movie. You got it?
Small mining town. Famous for their Valentine's Day party, Valentine's Bluff. Haven't had a Valentine's party in 20 years because of a mining accident that left 5 miners stranded in the mine. One of them survived by eating the rest of them. He makes it out and ends up in a mental institution for a year. And because of that, he breaks out, comes back, kills the supervisors that were supposed to be watching the crew when they died. And he haunts the town ever since. And then
that's pretty good.
Yeah, 20 years later, they decide to have another Valentine's party. They want to get it going again. And he returns, Harry Warden returns to make sure that doesn't happen.
That's a pretty good summary. And I thought it was something a little bit different. Like I said, maybe it's just because you have a holiday theme, like you're having a horror movie around a holiday. But I was like, this is something different than your average slasher. I don't know. There was something about it that from the opening scene where the 2 miners are walking in, right? They're walking through the mine. All of a sudden, one starts tripping down and it's a hot chick, right?
Yeah.
And the other guy she's with, still full mining gear, like sticks the pickaxe in the wall, and she's got like a heart tattoo right above one of her titties there. And I don't know, he gets mad or something when she like shows him, and he reacts and he like throws her back onto the pickaxe that was in the wall. It was kind of a cool kill. Like I said, we're 60 seconds into this movie and we're seeing this girl strip in the mine. And I was like, I dig this. Okay, we're off to a really good start. And my wife was actually in the room next to me, and she's on her phone. And she looks up as this chick is taking her stuff off.
Down.
And she's like, what are you watching? And I was like, I swear to God, I don't know what's going to happen. I've not seen this, but I mean, how dare she do this when I'm watching this crazy?
Right.
It was a cool opening. Like it hooked me from the start.
Yeah, I did have a question. Like, did he kill her because of the heart tattoo, or did he bring her down there to kill her?
I think he was just triggered by like the whole like situation. But like when you find out the stuff later, it doesn't really make sense. But it's like I guess that's where he had to get the first heart from to throw into the heart box. But
he's got to be triggered all the time. Then there's hearts all over this town.
Well, yeah, and it's the first time in 20 years.
That's the secret. He's always angry.
Like you
said,
the
police cars have hearts on them.
Yeah, they decorated everything they could. So they haven't had a dance in 20 years, like you said. So have they just not celebrated the holiday at all in general? Like, have they not put up streamers and stuff too? Or like, because if that would have been the
I
case, he would have been triggered from the get go.
I was thinking it was just a dance.
Okay.
Like you could celebrate this and have parties, I guess, which they end up having one right later on. But like I was assuming just the dance, like the note, because I think when he killed one of the supervisors, there was like a note or something, right? And it was like,
Mhm.
if you have another Valentine's Day dance, you'll live to regret it or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
So I think they just said we haven't had a dance in 20 years. They didn't say we haven't not celebrated.
Yeah, I think you could still
that's-
celebrate with your sweetie.
Yeah. I do have another thing about this intro we're talking about here. First off, without revealing who the killer is, I don't want to spoil anything. That guy was the guy we find out is the killer, right? We're to assume that was that guy, right?
I think that's where the
Yes.
first heart comes from.
Yeah.
But it was that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it like, and I'm only asking, they never really address this chick dying.
Yeah, nobody
Like,
realizes she's gone. Does she work
the
at the
sheriff-
mine?
Yeah, like they're in the mine. Did he do something with the body? He did something with the heart. The sheriff reads the note, finds the heart. They don't ask whose heart it is, where it came from. And also, I thought this was the incident 20 years ago that they were talking about.
No.
And then they mentioned the 5 miners. But at first they're like, yeah, that incident 20 years ago. And I was like, are they talking about that chick? It's
Right.
like, it was just, they introduced it in a weird
Yeah.
order. And I was confused briefly.
Well, they say no women in the mine, so she probably wasn't a miner, right?
No,
She
I don't think
probably-
she was a
I
minor,
thought that too.
but
She put the get up on so they could sneak her down there so they could fool around. That's what I'm guessing.
I'm assuming so. And then
Yeah, I'm assuming.
later on, the coroner makes mention that it is a girl's heart, which I don't know how he's able to determine that. But he says like, yeah, it's a young female heart, and then he mentions Harry Warren. He's like, oh God, I remember that. Oh God, it was so terrible.
Dude, the coroner was cracking me up. But because he was like so nonchalant, he's like, "What are you guys doing down there in Valentine's Bluffs?" Like,
Yeah.
why
Well,
you got a heart?
He mentions a young female heart. Not once is the guy like, wait a minute, we haven't had a missing female reported, like she was an
Right.
attractive chick. I'm sure she's got family or something. Also, the guy that took her down has a girlfriend. So
Yeah, I was
he
also
wasn't a
wondering
very
that.
good guy either.
So,
Well,
and,
that's why they're in disguise.
well,
That's right.
it also comes into play later because, obviously for reasons the guy who has the girlfriend has beef with another guy because that is his ex-girlfriend. But then
Yeah.
he's taking another girl down, so you're kind of like, huh? So the whole time you're kind of like, okay, what kind of triangle shit you guys got going on over here? But
Yeah, like 2 interlocking triangles.
yeah, it was a bit weird. But if he's only using her as a ploy to get the first heart, maybe it didn't matter. Maybe it was nothing, but
Ooh. I didn't even think about that. Like maybe like the whole point of her going down was to be the first heart.
yeah. And then, so it opens up like with the whole kind of like town kind of celebrating that the dance is going to be coming back. Or like you said, all the miners are kind of like, getting all up in arms about it.
It's like the dance is like a week away from where the movie opens up or something.
Yeah. Or a few days away. It's like, I think it's like the 11th
The 12th.
or the 12th.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
So-
And
only a
then
couple
like
days
Friday
away.
the 13th is the next day, and then it's
Yeah.
Saturday, which is actually the same as this year. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah. There's actually quite a few Friday
Ooh.
13th this year, actually. There's like, I think,
What a
3.
coincidence, listeners.
Yeah. Look out for those episodes. But overall, man, like I liked the opening. I didn't think much of it at first. I was like, oh, okay, typical like 80s horror flick, getting some little bit of like, partial nudity, and then bam, he kills her. So yeah, I thought it was not a bad start.
I like it when a horror movie gives you something right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
agreed.
A
open.
little
Yeah.
teaser to let you know like what's coming. Let me ask you guys this before we move on. Did you watch the theatrical or the uncut?
I
version?
watched the uncut.
Oh, okay.
I
I
have
think
both
I just did
versions,
the theatrical.
so.
Okay. I watched the theatrical version, but I did go on YouTube and watch the stuff that was left out. And let me say, it really was awesome. Like, I wish I would have watched the uncut version. I actually think it might up my rating at the end of this because
Oh,
the
nice.
stuff in the uncut version was so cool.
before you dive into it, wasn't there originally like 9 extra minutes and then but like only 3 extra minutes got released later on when it got bought by studio or something? Did you guys read this? How much extra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
there's
what?
3 minutes
Go on.
got added back into the uncut. From what I read, the director said that the missing 6 minutes was all like exposition and like character building and stuff. So like the 3 minutes that got put back in were mainly gore.
Is that what you saw? Just the 3 minutes?
No, I
it's-
saw
Well,
I
go
saw
on.
like 10 I think it was 10 scenes, and then I skipped through the parts that I knew and got to the parts that were left out. And all
Okay.
of it, so it was just like the kills leading up to where it cut, and then you could tell that the footage was a little bit more grainy because it
Sure.
hadn't been processed or whatever. So like in the first scene where he puts her up on the pickaxe and it kind of cuts away from that, you actually see it poke out through her chest, and like
Oh,
you see
Yeah.
the pickaxe come out. And that's pretty much the case with all of it. It just like extends the kills and stuff. But
okay.
the stuff that got cut out, it's such a shame that it didn't make it in.
Yeah, especially after the year prior with Friday the 13th, which is pretty gory in and of itself. The MPAA was pretty much hammered down really hard on this movie. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was something kind of like has to do because it was a Canadian-based film, so bringing in technically a foreign film or whatever it would be has like different restrictions back then or what, but yeah, the uncut version is spectacular in the gore and such.
You
Yeah,
guys
it's
are
cool.
making me really wish I had looked that up. I was like, it's probably not worth it, right? It's probably just crap. But now I'm hearing good things, so I'm gonna have to check this. I got homework after this episode, guys. So
It made the best parts of the movie better.
Yeah.
cool. On the subject of killing, do you guys have a favorite kill in this movie?
Ooh,
I kind of liked some of the kills in this, and without spoiling names, I don't want to spoil too much. Whatever. We had, just coming off the top of my head, we have the opening, right? Girl with the pickaxe. We got the dryer, right? The
Dryer was cool.
laundromat.
yep.
We got we got that poor fuck that got his face boiled
The
with
hot
the hot
dog water?
dogs.
The hot dog water, yeah.
We got the couple screwing that got screwed.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
there it is.
We got there was some cool kills. I just didn't know. Did you guys have a favorite here?
I didn't mind Howard's death.
How did he go again?
He like came down and he had like a rope around his neck and then it decapitated him basically.
Chris didn't see that part.
Because it's
Oh,
so you didn't
yeah.
get
Okay, they were just climbing up, and then Howard's body
Just fell.
came swinging down on the rope, and then they went back down the.
In
Oh,
the
okay.
in the uncut version, you see Howard hanging there, and then you see his body separate from his head and fall.
Yeah. It like
Dude.
the force from him jostling down like ripped his head off.
I'm glad I
That's
watched
so awesome.
the theatrical and then saw the uncut stuff, so I can kind of bridge the gap between what you saw, Chris, and what you saw, Derek.
Yeah. That wasn't
man.
that was pretty good. And then I can't remember her name, but the chick who gets put on the spigot, on the water spigot in the shower.
Oh, was that Sylvie? That was Sylvie.
Sylvie, yeah, I think. And so
Because
Sylvia?
she's
Sylvie,
sleeping
yeah.
with the redhead guy that went to get beer.
Yeah, the giant. This is like walking around. That dude was tall. But yeah, she gets put on to the thing when she gets spiked. I think there's like a little bit more gore and stuff coming out of her like mouth. And then later on when he finds her, it's like water's coming out.
Mhm.
And it's
Dude,
like
that's
a
so
shower
awesome.
head. Yeah. So
I'm
that
pissed
was
I
another
didn't see
cool one.
these.
I liked the guy that was it I can't remember who it was in the movie. Was he the one that worked at the bar or whatever, where he was rigging up the
Oh,
closet
yeah.
with the pickaxe?
The doomsayer, yeah.
And he was like,
I'm gonna
testing
show
his little
them
trap that he set, and then all of
Yeah,
a
he
sudden
set
the miner was there.
his prank.
And then
yeah.
in the uncut version, he gets the pickaxe to the chin, and you see his eyeball start to pop out.
Yep. Pokes his eye out.
And then I liked that he was
That's
just
pretty rad.
dragging him with the pickaxe.
Yeah.
Damn it. I missed so much. They cut so much good stuff out.
I loved the killer in this movie.
Oh,
Like,
it's
I thought,
simplistic, man, it works.
yeah. So you got the pickaxe, which is just like a perfect weapon, and it also has like utility. Like you could put it into the wall and then put someone onto it. You can get them up through the chin, get them in the gut.
You can drag them. You can break locks. You can.
Oh yeah,
break
they were
open
breaking
doors and
locks with
stuff.
that thing. It seemed
So,
like
Yeah,
everyone in the town was using
agree.
it like a multi-tool.
it's like everyone had one in their back pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I liked so obviously the gas mask was good at concealing the identity, but also that like light on top was just perfect for like blinding the victims.
Yeah.
And it also made for like cool cinematography where you like see the victim's face and they have the like ring light on them and they're like, ah.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
even his breathing through the mask was kind of eerie. Like you just hear him like slowly breathing,
Yes.
not like Darth Vader or anything, but like enough for him to be like, dude, he's like walking backwards, he's hiding, and all you hear is his breathing and stuff. Yeah, it's great.
It is cool. Yeah, that could be like a really cool like Halloween type costume if you're like a slasher fan. I thought it looked really awesome. Tyler, you're right 100% about the light. Like even from if you're the lights in your eyes and you're just seeing this big silhouette with like this wild looking mask. He's breathing heavy. He's got a fucking pickaxe. It looks menacing. It looks cool. I'll agree. The killer was awesome.
Yeah, I also I also thought it was cool that it was a Valentine's Day movie, but it wasn't like Valentine's theming so much as like there was a good contrast of it's a Valentine's Day movie, but the killer's a minor. You know, it's like how do you make those two work together? And I think they did a
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
job with that. Like we were talking about Krampus, and it's like, oh, the killer's a gingerbread man. Oh, it's it's all like Christmas themed stuff. But I thought this was really cool at being set at Valentine's Day, but not being like a rom com kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even like what you're, yeah. So like it's not someone dressed as fucking Cupid or something like killing people. Like in
Or
the
like a
movie
demon
Thanksgiving.
Cupid or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Did you guys ever see the movie Thanksgiving, the horror movie, Eli Roth?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
They celebrate that the dude dresses like the pilgrim or whatever. It's like their town mascot and like it's all over the parade. And then the killer is wearing like the pilgrimage like costume or whatever. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point about this movie is that the killer is not Valentine themed or like oriented or whatever. Good
Yeah.
catch on that, man. I didn't even think about that.
Because
Good catch.
Yeah, it's
even other Valentine's Day horror movies have kind of focused on that niche. Like in the movie
Right.
Valentine in like the early 2000s, it's like a Cupid or cherub face. And
right.
then same thing with Hard Eyes. The dude literally has hard eyes. So it's like,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it fits for the holiday, but this is just set around the holiday, which
Did you see
makes
Hard Eyes, Derek?
I saw most of it, yeah, and it's not terrible. It's just like super bloody and stuff, which I didn't mind, but
I felt like it couldn't decide between being a rom com and a horror.
it had some weird like beats to it. I
The
couldn't,
love
yeah, like
story part just didn't really track for me.
no,
The characters weren't very likable. The killer was kind of cool,
yeah,
but like ultimately, this movie was just like 10 times better.
I did have my heart eyes on Heart Eyes. I haven't. It's not at the top of my list to watch, but it is on there. Like it looked kind of like mildly interesting. I think the mask with like the heart eyes looks kind of cool, but like kind of like
it's unique,
dopey,
yeah,
but at the same time kind of cool. I don't know. But I did have my. It was. I think it's on my watch list on Letterboxd. So
The mask is cool, but I think they underutilized where it like lights up red. You know,
sure,
I think
like
they
it
could have
could be
done more
better.
with it. It had potential. I just don't think it stuck the landing.
Right on.
I think it'd be a good one for us to review. I think we could really tear it apart. But
Look out for next year, guys.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
See you in 365.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys didn't like about this movie? Like, I don't know that I have a lot of complaints so much as I just have questions. Like, I can't think of anything really that I was like, I just straight up don't. Well, we talked about Howard. Yeah, he was just annoying. But is there anything you guys didn't like about this movie?
Not really.
I mean, it's not a perfect 10, obviously. So we got a little bit of beef, but it's,
I didn't
Derek,
like.
did you have
I couldn't
anything?
really find much to not like about it. Like maybe some like some of the dialogue or some of the character choices, maybe tropey as they may be, but not really.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a little list. We talked about the acting. I didn't think the acting was very good. A lot of the dialogue I didn't like. None of the characters I really cared about, except for like maybe Hollis. TJ was okay. I felt like maybe the humor fell a little flat. Like the jokes weren't really making me laugh at all.
Yeah, I can see
Uh,
They were made for another generation, man. They weren't made for us.
Yeah,
So
I guess so. I could accept that. The fight scene on the little train. Do you remember that? So like the train that goes through the mine, the little tracks.
this
Yeah.
is at the end of the movie.
Towards the end of the movie, spoilers, but the killer and TJ are fighting on that little train. It's moving really slow, but then like the fight scene was so low energy and like every swing was like so easy to block. It could have been way more intense than that, you know?
I was actually on that scene. Because I think the killer is just walking across the stuff, no problem. TJ is the one that's like flailing around the cart and like, like crawling this. I'm like, you ride this thing every day just like this guy does. Couldn't you both just be standing up having a cool brawl instead of this like killer chasing TJ kind of this TJ, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
TJ?
Yep.
TJ.
Instead of him, TJ's just constantly like falling and it's like, get to your feet and fucking fight this guy, man. What? Come on, you ride this cart every day. It's not going fast. The girls go moving faster than you, dude. Come on.
Yeah, TJ's got a shovel and the killer's got the pickaxe, and it's like he could have just like easily plunged that pickaxe right into TJ, would have been over really quick. Yeah, that part really fell flat for me. And then the reveal of the killer was like a real like Scooby-Doo moment that I just like the whole ending, that last like 5 minutes I felt was not that great.
Well,
Okay.
I felt like the whole time they had like I guess maybe a good chunk of red herrings. Red herring is kind of a stretch, I think, but you're kind of guessing who the killer is throughout the whole movie. But then by the time you get to the end, you're like, dude, there's like 3 people left. So it has to be
Yeah.
like one of the 3. Like you're
Right.
running out of like the head count, so like it has to be somebody. The match is just how it works.
It's the corner.
Valentine's 12th, guys. What are you doing here?
It's the dead chick from the beginning.
back from the grave, yeah. One thing I didn't really care too much for was like the rivalry between Axel and TJ, and it's because like
Oh, I
TJ
thought that was
left
cool.
to go to the West Coast, failed,
Yeah.
and left his girlfriend and everything. And then when he came back, his girlfriend was with his best bud, and so then they started started beefing. You can tell TJ's bothered by it, but he doesn't let it like take him over or anything until Axel starts like kind of poking him, and then he's like, "Hey, man!" And then that's when they try to like scuffle in the mine a couple of times and stuff. And at that point, I would have been like, either like TJ give up, and just deal with it, or Axel quit being a dick, like quit like parading about it,
Yeah.
just kind of like, okay, well, ease the tension, but they just kept going at each other. So I thought it was kind of childish, but I mean, I understand why, because of the history they have, but.
Yeah, I had that on my list. I have that on my
You
list
didn't
of
like it either?
dislikes as well, the love triangle, yeah.
Oh man, I'm the only one that liked the love triangle. It kind of added a little tension between the like pretty tight group of miners in this like pretty tight community. Like I was like,
Yeah.
okay, we got some beef. I do wonder what TJ failed at. It just says he left. He failed at some like what business venture or something, and then came back disgraced. We don't really know.
Didn't really say what
He comes
it was.
back. You're right about Axel being the one to like start shit when it's like, dude, you have her. Just like let TJ fucking sulk over there in the corner, man. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Well, she
I
played
don't know
into
why
it
you're
too.
starting shit.
Yeah, and then she can't make up her mind. She's like, I like Axel, and I'm with Axel, but yeah.
Well, I think Axel being a dick helped push her back into TJ's arms, so to speak. Like he's being an asshole, and she's just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
He does
like,
kind of
why?
apologize
And it's like,
to her. He's like, "Hey,
Right.
look, I'm sorry," but that's when he's also like, "I want you," and she's just like, "I don't know what I want,"
No, he wasn't sorry. He was sorry.
He was sorry. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is funny.
The first time through, I really didn't pick up on the Canadian accents, and then the second time through, I couldn't help but notice it.
I caught it in
I
part.
don't think I noticed it too much. Maybe
There
a
was a
few
lot of
words
sorries.
like maybe a few words maybe perked my ears, but there was nothing where I would like after it got said, I was like, huh, that was weirdly said. Fargo on the accents was definitely way
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
more thick and way more just in your face. I will say, I think one thing I didn't like about this movie at the end when we find out who the killer is, and I'm going to ask you guys about the killer here in a minute. We find out who the killer is, and then like the very end where he gets trapped, right? The cave falls. Does he cut off his arm to get away?
Yeah.
Right? And you see the shot kind of through the rubble and he's just like running off. Like, and all of a sudden he's like the fucking Joker, dude. He's like laughing this like maniacal and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
saying all this shit like, "You'll be my bloody Valentine, Sarah." And I was like, what the fuck just happened? This guy just went full ape shit after he just like it was a weird if we saw him get away without saying something, or we hear like the people be like, "Hey, we moved all this shit and there's no body," right? And we know it's one thing, but I was like, this is a weird turn. Like they tried to like
Yeah.
really get crazy at the end, and I don't know that I fully bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
he
too
had his
much.
little rhyme about Harry Warden made you pay or whatever.
Yeah. Will you
Yeah,
be my
you're right.
bloody Valentine, Sarah? Cackles and then runs off, bleeding to death.
Two things on the killer. My first question is, Tyler, you talked about it being Scooby-Doo. Did you have who was your suspect? Did you have a suspect list going into I know you said you don't like to try to figure it out as it goes, right? You want to be surprised. Like, did you have someone in mind? You're like, I think it could be this guy. I think it could be this guy.
I'll be honest, dude. I don't even try to figure it out. I just kind of go along for the ride. So they pulled the mask off, and like I said, I had trouble like keeping track of the characters and stuff. When they took the mask off, I was like, well, "Who's that?" Like it wasn't until it cut away and then it cut back to his face. I was like, "Oh, okay, it's Axel." But the first reveal, I was like, "Which one am I looking at?"
Yeah.
But
dirty
you're
face
right,
and
Derek. I
stuff,
didn't
yeah.
even realize like there's only like 3 characters left in the whole movie anyway.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and that,
Yeah,
and that
Derek, you said you figured it out, so
yeah. Well, it wasn't too hard to narrow down, especially once it was like when Axel just randomly disappeared and they thought he fell into that like pool of water or whatever. Like, oh, he's gone.
Thought he
It was
got
like,
killed or
there's not
whatever.
even a
Yeah.
body or anything, man. Like, what are you talking about? And then it was like right after that, I think TJ leaves, and I was like, well, maybe it's him because he just disappeared. But then he shows back up, and then that's when Harry Warden or whatever, Axel comes and shows up again, and you're like, oh well, no, there it is. I know who it is, But
yeah.
very beginning was kind of tough though. I would say it was pretty difficult to kind of like pinpoint who it was or who was under the mask.
I had it as both of those suspects the entire movie. I was like, I didn't remember enough of the remake to have that in my back pocket. Like, oh, I think it's whatever. I was just like, there's a love triangle. Chances are it has to be one of these guys to me, because it almost becomes a 50-50 chance of it being one of those two or someone else in the crowd that we know. Hollis, Howard, the dude that gets screwed, the redhead guy, all this stuff. I was like, it's got to be one of these two. I did have TJ as my main sus. He went away. He came back. Shit's happening the year he came back. Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
He's the minor guy's son. It could have been one of those easily. And then I was like, once the scene you talked about where Axel fell or whatever, I was instantly like, I think he faked his death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why it popped into my head. Maybe just the way he made like a sound. I was like, I think he faked his death. And then from then on out, I was like, he's got to be the killer. It's him. And I ended up being right. I have this thing where I almost want to figure it out and know I was right.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the whole movie have a suspect and then it's not them, I'm like, damn it. The movie bamboozled me and it puts me down.
Well, the movie set it up fairly decent too. Like every time those guys would have like a spat or they get mad, they would like go off screen, and almost immediately after
Yes.
there'd be a kill. So the movie had a good way of like kind of like, oh, maybe it is him, and then somebody get pissed off, walk off screen, somebody would die, and then you're like, oh, maybe it's him. So
Yeah,
it
could've
kind
been
of
either.
shuffled it up a bit.
That's
I
true.
agree. See, and I did watch the remake, and they do a like terrible job of like the killer being there. They look away for a second, and all of a sudden he's like behind. It was really bad displacement of people, and I think this did a really good job of not being that way.
Yeah.
And it just
So-
added to it because a lot of the Friday the 13th movies, which I love, Jason has like a fucking like portal traveling device. I swear, he's always away and then he's right there and then he's
Yeah.
behind them and you can catch up to them when they're running. I thought this movie nailed like setting it up, the shots and stuff like that.
All right. So since we're talking about the reveal of the killer and everything, I didn't understand his motivation.
So during the original events with when Harry Warden came back the year after being out of the mental institution or whatever, he goes
Right.
after and kills the two supervisors who were supervising the mine or whatever and went to go party when all that shit went down. Axel's dad was one of the supervisors and saw his
Right.
dad get killed. And when he saw it, it just traumatized him enough to be like, I guess affect him. But it didn't affect them for 20 years until they were like a party. And then it like
Okay.
snapped him, So I didn't understand why it like took on for so long. And everybody seemed to know about it too, or at least the mayor and the police did.
I do want to get back to that about like the urban legend of Harry Warden and how people did know and didn't know at the same time. Anyway, we'll get back to that. It just showed like 2 quick like clips of
It was so fast.
him under the bed and then seeing his dad get killed or whatever. The uncut version has a little bit more where like
The blood hits the kid and he rolls back under the bed, I think, right?
yeah, and Harry Warden's like digging the guy's heart out or something. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't that?
Yeah. He pulls the heart out and that's when he gets the blood.
So yeah,
I did read
get,
about that. You're right.
So I get that his dad was one of the supervisors and he watched Harry Warden kill him, but I didn't see how that translated to now everybody who has a Valentine's dance has to die.
Well,
Yeah.
Like his beef's with Harry Warden, not with the dance.
See, Harry Warden wrote the message, right? About the
Yeah.
dance.
Yes.
Then Harry Warden
Right.
dies.
Right.
So the kid had to have seen that, right?
Mhm.
Young Axel would have had to see that and been like, oh shit, we better not do that. So let's say the town the next year was just like, fuck, you know what? Fuck Harry Warden. We're gonna have a dance this year. Axel's still too young.
Right.
Would nothing have happened because Harry Warden is dead? You know what I mean? Like, or
He
well, I guess
wasn't
he was
dead
still in
yet.
the institute. He got put in
Right.
the institute for another 20 years, or whatever, right? But like, nothing would have happened if they had the dance then. It's only until Axel is like an adult and then just waited for a dance to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
and that goes back to what we said earlier. If they didn't have a dance and they were just celebrating Valentine's Day every year for the past 20 years, like they were, I guess the town was safe. It's literally just a dance that triggers him to be like, I'm going to fucking murder everyone, all my friends and stuff that I've been working with. And
it's also strange because
yeah.
Axel didn't act. Axel seemed excited for the dance. Like he seemed excited for the dance with him and his girls. So I was kind of like, I don't know if he's faking that or if he's like legit. I don't know if he has like a split personality during the whole thing. I don't know. It's kind of weird on Axel's part, to be honest.
It was a little flimsy.
Yeah.
yeah, I might have to throw his little like killer origin into my dislike pile for the movie. I will say like, I don't know. Seeing your dad is all of a sudden going to make you want to fulfill that Harry Warden's message of if there's a dance, I'm going to kill everyone. It
was so
it's
quick,
a little weak,
too.
but didn't distract me.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we're getting to the climax, and then she like reaches up and like the Scooby-Doo, like it was him all along. And then he gets covered in the rubble or whatever. And then who was it, the mayor or I think it was the mayor who was like, his dad was murdered by Harry Warden. It's like, okay, I feel like you just like you had all this good build up and then you just shoehorn the ending and then it's over.
Yeah, because it's literally after the fight, the two exit the mine. He runs off laughing like the Joker, and then it's like that's it. There's no.
We get a Harry Warden song that plays.
Dude,
right.
I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I watched the movie twice. Both times I let the credits roll the whole way so I could listen to the song.
Yeah.
The song was so good.
It was catchy.
Back then had that kind of charm, man. They could do that and it'd work. So you can do that shit nowadays. Like people would be like, "What, a Harry Warden song? It's stupid." But like
so
back
corny.
then, it worked. Yeah.
I actually looked it up on like YouTube Music so I could listen to it again later. I was like, this is awesome.
Oh,
It
awesome.
it was a great way to cap off the movie.
Yeah.
Even though the ending was kind of like shitty. It was like, oh yeah, this is cool.
Just recounting the tale of Harry Ward. Yeah.
We mentioned earlier that this has been remade. This was a remake in 2009, directed by Patrick. Is his name Lussier? Lussier?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did watch it today, actually, so that I could compare and contrast the originals. Derek, Tyler, you've never seen it, right?
I haven't.
The remake. Derek, you've seen it. How fresh is that in your mind? Do you remember a lot of that?
Oh, I remember everything, and
Okay,
not for a good reason.
I didn't know when the
dude.
last time you saw it was.
Not for.
I think
I
you let
watched
me
it,
borrow.
watched it a long time ago.
You let me
man.
borrow the DVD maybe in like 2010, and I think that's how the first time I watched it. And I think I have the same opinion as I've had about it. Then it's okay. It's not the worst.
No, it's not a
There's
great
definitely
remake.
no. It's not amazing, and but there's definitely worse horror remakes, especially coming around that time. Think of The Fog, Tyler, which I think you watched, right? The
Yeah,
Fog
that was
remake.
trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. it can be rough.
It hits a lot
But
on
it's
the same
okay.
beats, but just a little bit of things different here and there.
Yeah, for sure. It is kind of cool seeing Jensen Ackles do like a major film.
Yeah,
I was
Um,
gonna say that. That's the reason I wanted to watch it, is just because I'm a Supernatural fan.
he's very Dean in
yeah,
My Bloody
Yeah.
Valentine. Like a lot of his, like how it's how he says things, and like the gruffness of his voice.
Yep.
The character not so much. Obviously, he's not hunting ghosts and shit or whatever. But like, I was like, and I didn't even watch Supernatural, but I was like, there's a lot of Dean in this. Like, I could, you're kind of one sided here, man.
Well, that's kind of like that Friday the 13th remake had Jared Padalecki in it, and he
Yeah.
was like, he can't not be Sam.
yeah,
He doesn't know how to. They've done it for so long, he just can't switch off.
yeah.
for sure.
Even Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, like a lot of Dean inflection comes
Yes.
out. So
Yes.
so
Which
it's
I'm
great.
not. I'm actually not mad at.
No.
I'm
Like
not one of the people. I like typecasting. I'll go on the record as like, maybe that's a hot take, but like, if you're good at something, then that's what you should be cast as.
yeah, I think certain actors definitely are
Okay.
good at being
Fair enough.
typecast. And there's someone
Yeah.
like, you got to break the cycle, brother. Like Jesus. But
Yeah, like Liam
Jensen-
Neeson. It's like, all right, man, we get it.
Yeah,
You got a certain set of skills. All right, that's fine.
yeah, for real.
Not everyone is as lucky as Marco from Chapoya. Okay, we get it.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so let's talk about the aspect that like none of the town knows the legend of Harry Warden. Like they know the legend, but they don't know that it. I was kind of
Like the younger
confused on like,
generation. Yeah.
yeah, the younger generation's like, ooh, Harry Warden. It's like, this shit really happened, but they all act like it's not a big deal, or like, you know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
For a town as tight knit and as small as it is, you'd think it'd be like, someone mentions Harry Warden, the record skips. Everybody's like, "Why'd you say that name?" It's not
Right.
like that much at all, except for the dude at the bar. And then
Yeah.
even then, the kids are like raspberrying in his face, being like, "Oh, Harry Warden, that's so stupid." They don't even like really care. But it is strange for the kids to not know who he is. And then by the end, they're like, "It's fucking Harry Warden," and they're like, "Oh, now you believe?" Like, it is kind of strange.
They act like it's an urban legend and not like a true crime story from the town. that they're all
like a
from.
myth. Yeah, it's only 20
For
years.
sure.
It's not like 100 years or anything. Like,
It's 20 years. Literally, one of their friends is involved.
the kid was like, what, 4, 5, maybe 6 at the most when all that shit went down. So yeah,
He's old enough.
they
He's not
would've
only
known.
old enough to remember, but it's shaped his whole personality and like turned him into like a psychotic killer.
Yeah, like,
But it's
Yeah.
but they make it seem like a spooky campfire story.
Does no one in the town know that his dad was this guy? Like, you have all this close knit friends and like stuff there. You haven't told anyone like, I
Yeah.
was there when this happened, and like, this is not something to fucking joke about. My dad fucking died, and like what I think whoever mentioned earlier that one of them, the sheriff or the mayor's like, oh my god, his dad was one of those supervisors. Is
Yeah.
that you guys have been in that position for a long time? Did none of you not know that? Like, are you guys just now finding this out?
you
Like,
guys are literally
I'm sure he
working,
has the same last name. Like,
working in the same mine where all that shit went down, and they're just
For
like,
real.
"That's fine, don't worry about it." Like, it's all a myth. Like, it's weird.
because the dude, the mayor, was he the owner of the mine back then too? Like it was still the Hanager mine, right?
It was the
Is the
Hanager
mayor the
mine.
owner of the mine, Hanager? Mayor Hanager? In mine?
TJ's dad is the mayor for sure.
Yeah.
So his
So if yeah,
So he
so
used to
then
be
you would have
used to run the mines, and then he just took over mayor
Now he's
sometime
mayor.
within the 20 years.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, like you wouldn't have known like, hey, that supervisor that died of mine, I think he had a boy. We should yeah, I don't know. Some of that doesn't make sense. There's a lot of questions.
it also didn't make sense why they were trying to cover up the kills.
Yeah.
True. That's a problem in a lot of movies though. Like, why are you covering this up when you should just be fucking telling everyone and putting on everyone on alert?
The police chief or whatever, his whole like defense to that is like, we don't want to start a panic. Bro, people are dying left, right, and center, and you're not even talking about it, and no one knows until like literally the mine or the party goes to the mine at the end. That's when everybody's like, holy shit, like people are dying.
Yeah.
Like that's when everybody starts realizing like what's going on around them. Everybody else is just totally oblivious.
Well, you don't want to start a panic. There's only like 15 people in the whole town. You know, I think you can manage
Shit,
it.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I've seen it compared to Jaws, where like, you know, we gotta save the town. If we let this get out, then it'll ruin the economy. But this isn't like a
This isn't a
touristy
tourist town.
No.
this is like a small, close knit. You know, the only job in town basically is the mine.
So
Like
after,
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, after 2 incidences, do you think they would close that mine, or you think they'd
Right.
keep it open?
I think you got to keep it open, or the whole town dies.
Right. Yeah.
Not everybody in the town, but the economy in the town.
The
dies.
economy and yeah, for real. Yeah, no, yeah, that's a tough call, I guess. It's like, all right, everyone disperse, go to neighboring towns. We got to close this mine. We got to find a new profession here.
Well, it's either that or go
Yeah.
down there working with freaking Axel, one-arm Axel, just cackling in the fucking catacombs down there. Like,
Yeah, right, for real.
so
On the subject of holiday horror movies, what do you guys think about those? Like I said earlier, Krampus was my first time watching it. This was my first time watching this one. You know, I think I've seen Thanksgiving one, so I said Halloween is awesome. I'm really digging these. And it's something that probably on paper shouldn't be that good. I'm kind of thinking it works. It can work. Maybe I'm alone.
I think it should work more often than it does. I actually like the concept, but I think there's quite a few bad ones. Like,
Oh,
a lot of them that get made
sure.
are like super low budget. I think it's, you know, like Christmas movies where it's kind of got a built-in replayability, right? Like, you
Sure.
make a Christmas movie, you're going to make a lot on the back end because people are going to watch it every year if it's good, if it's any good at all. Even if it's
True.
not good, you'll probably still get some money on the people like trying it out just because it's Christmas. This one,
Yeah, look at Hallmark.
This one seems pretty high up for me. Like, I think this is one of the better ones. I watched Black Christmas this year, and I was like kind of excited for that, and I actually did not like it.
I've never
I thought
seen
it was very slow. The kills weren't that exciting by the time there were any kills. It was like halfway through the movie before any kind of action pops off. It was kind of cool because it had the like calls are coming from inside the house kind of aspect, which I think might have been the first time that happened. Like, I think that might have been the first one to do it.
Maybe. Screen probably picked up on that.
I don't know, Derek. Have you seen Black Christmas? Did you like it?
yeah, I watched the original Black Christmas from 1974 this year. I was really holding out for it. I liked it. I know it is kind of a slow burn, but like I liked it a lot better than the 2 remakes that came out after it. Like, again, like the
I think
remakes just
slow
failed.
burn is an understatement.
But for like holiday movies, I'd like them. I think they're awesome. I think they can work, but I think you have to do them right. Like, I like Black Christmas, but you didn't. But like we both liked My Bloody Valentine, and it worked. But like, I'm not throwing in Valentine every year to watch it, because it's
No,
a Valentine's
Valentine
movie.
sucks.
So there's definitely some movies that do work, and there's some movies that don't work. Haven't seen like an Easter horror movie that I know of, so that's not
True.
like a thing yet. Or I guess there is a 4th of July one, but it's not great.
4th of July one.
Yeah, I think it's called Uncle Sam, and it's some dude dressed up as Uncle Sam killing people. So tropey as hell. But
So you mentioned Easter. I think like an Easter one, as long as it's not like a killer bunny or something, you know.
Jesus
Sure.
rises from the grave.
So I think
or, you
I
know.
think maybe using the holiday
Jesus
as a
Christ.
setting instead of like the plot
Yes,
maybe is the way to do it.
something
Or
that
the
revolves around the
killer being
holiday,
oriented.
but not directly to the holiday. I
Right.
think that's where it works because
Well,
that's
I
what Black
know
Christmas did.
well, I know in like the remakes for Black Christmas, don't they like use like a cookie cutter to cut out like skin and stuff? That actually seems kind of cool. I think you could use like holiday aspects, but like Krampus is the only one that I've really seen that's like heavy Christmas theme that was actually worth watching, you know?
Yeah,
It's like a
taking the
Christmas.
lore.
It's a Christmas character
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing the killing. Yeah.
Like I think, you could strangle someone with some Christmas lights or like something like that, and that's okay. But like I think just using it as the setting is like the way to go.
Christmas is kind of one of the only holidays where you can really have something lean heavy into the holiday for the movie to work. Like we talked about with My Bloody Valentine. If the guy dressed up as like a fucking giant Cupid or something, right? There's no way on earth to make that cool or scary. It's actually kind of stupid. But you have it around Valentine's Day. Like it's a setting, right? It's a time. I think that works. The Thanksgiving ones, kind of the same. It could work on Thanksgiving and not be a Thanksgiving killer. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck would you do 4th of July? Where do you draw the line with these horror movies? Like,
right.
Well, 4th of
there's
July,
some that work and there's some that don't. You know, like,
I
how
think
would you have
4th
a
of
killer
July
on
you could do
4th?
some cool stuff with some fireworks and stuff.
Oh, for sure. I'm just like, you couldn't have a holiday oriented killer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
what'd you say, Derek? That's fucking someone dressed
Uncle
as Uncle
Sam,
Sam
yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
You
Well,
could
I
maybe
mean,
get away with doing the Uncle Sam like mask or something, but yeah, there's gotta be something more to it.
yeah, for sure.
Like,
Gotta liven it up.
like for Valentine's Day, I think Hard Eyes was kinda on the right path with like almost like a rom-com like love is in the air. It's Valentine's Day. So like having like wronged lovers or like love triangles, I think all that could work in a horror movie if you do it right. I think Hard Eyes just went maybe too heavy rom-com and like even like modern rom-com, like the acting wasn't that good. The story was kind of trying to be too cutesy and
yeah. Could you consider like Leprechaun to be a holiday movie? It doesn't take place on St. Patrick's
absolutely.
Day, but it is a
Well,
Leprechaun.
okay. Full
I was going to
disclosure,
ask for this actually.
full
if it-
disclosure, I don't know that I've seen Leprechaun. So I didn't know that it didn't take place on St. Patrick's Day. But I think the fact that it is a Leprechaun makes it to where you could watch it
You could.
on St. Patrick's Day.
See,
Right.
and that's almost a holiday oriented killer, not on a holiday.
Mhm.
And like, not saying leprechauns have to be St. Patty's Day or whatever, like, I'm not saying that, I don't want to offend anyone, but like, we associate leprechauns with this one day, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
Like, there's no other day on the calendar where if you say leprechaun, someone's like, middle of June, like whatever.
Arbor
It's-
Day.
Yeah.
yeah, like,
yeah.
so it's funny how that works because,
So look at Halloween. You have Halloween, which takes place on the holiday. Dude's wearing a mask. Everybody else is wearing a mask, killing people, right? But then you
Mhm.
have like Trick or Treat, takes place on the holiday, but it acts more of like an anthology. If,
right.
like both those movies are both Halloween centric movies, and I love them both, and I'll watch them both right around that time. But if you can't connect it in some way to the holiday, then I feel like that's where you start to kind of like start to slip at least, But luckily, there's not super a lot of them out there that are like that, and if there are, it's not super prominent.
Right. Yeah,
Did-
Halloween is one there's not like one specific thing. Well, maybe now if you say Halloween, Michael Myers, right? But like other than that, Halloween, you could dress up as anything. And as long as you're killing people on Halloween, that's a Halloween horror movie. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Right.
whereas Christmas, it's kind of like you think Christmas is more of a season. Like Halloween's not a season. Halloween's just referred to like one day or weekend, right? Christmas
No,
is like
wrong.
all month. Oh, well,
Halloween's all
right. No,
month.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like after September 1st, I'm like, Halloween season, we got 60 days, baby.
yeah.
Um, but Christmas can happen both, like around that time. It can happen on that time. So there's a little flexibility there. Thanksgiving is limited to like one day, 1 week. You know what I mean? Like Valentine's Day is 1 day. Christmas is the only one where you got flexibility on that type of stuff.
Right.
Did you guys ever catch the anthology series on Hulu, Into the Dark?
Dude.
I don't believe so. No.
It's
Did you?
Yeah, I've watched a bunch of them. Me and Mercedes would go through every time there was a new one. I haven't seen all of them. I'm not like completely up to date, but it's a American horror anthology television series produced for Hulu. Each standalone episodic installment based around a different holiday in every month.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
It is pretty cool. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but it was kind of funny. It was kind of fun to like check in on all the different ones and see like, ooh, what are they going to try to do with this one? Yeah, there's Halloween ones, Thanksgiving ones, New Year's Eve, Christmas. I might have said that already.
They're like President's Day.
No, God.
April Fool's Day.
Juneteenth.
Yeah. Mother's Day,
Labor Day.
Father's Day. So they have a bunch of different ones. And it says television series. I think I remember them being like movie length, but I can't say
I think
for
there
sure.
actually is a movie out there that has holiday, like horror holidays, like an anthology movie. Because like Seth Green is in one of the segments. But I can't remember what it was called. But you also mentioned April Fools. That's another
Yeah.
slasher from the 80s. That's a movie. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Mother's Day, another slasher from the 80s, kind of based off a holiday. So that could be interesting.
Well, it's holidays, and it's also like just like big event days. Like I said, prom night, like you know, the biggest night of senior year. You know what I mean? And that could have easily been the prom queen goes on a killing spree, or the prom king. It's not either one of those. Just so we're clear, right? But like they're like prom night. You know, Derek, would you say April Fool's Day? Friday the 13th isn't even a holiday. It's just one of those days that's like an unlucky day, and it turned into like a horror franchise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Graduation Day.
Right. Yeah. Like graduation day.
Bar mitzvah.
Listen, Labor Day, Columbus Day,
Hanukkah.
like Martin Luther King Jr. Day. You know, you got a lot of the calendar's full of these days where you can do this. So
Yeah.
but what are your final thoughts on this movie, Tyler?
I love it, man. I thought it was really good. I found myself thinking about it like later on after I'd watched it. Originally I'd put it at about a 3.5, and then I went and watched those uncut scenes, and I think that actually bumps it up to a 4 for me. Like all the stuff that was left out when I saw that, I was like, yeah.
Nice. I first time viewing, and after seeing the remake first and then watching, that beauty and then coming back to the actual original, dude, the original is great. So I'm going to give it a 4 as well.
Tyler, like you, I think I'm actually going to raise mine. I debated on giving it a 4 after I saw it, and I was like, I'm going to stick to 3.5. I was like, we're gonna break it down, right, and we're gonna discuss some of this, without even having to see the extra stuff to boost it to a 4. I think just talking about it and remembering how much fun I had watching it, like I was just in a generally good mood. I had a great time watching it. I liked all the tropes and stuff. And like I said, maybe it's because I was coming off the train wreck of prom night where I'm like, oh, this is just so much better. But I think I'm going to boost mine from 3.5 to a 4 as well. So
Awesome.
we all got 4s this week?
Yeah.
4's already.
Oh man. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun, listeners. I said it's in 1981. The slasher boom was in full swing. I don't think this did very well, which kind of frustrates me. I think this is, like Tyler said, a standout one. I kind of put this at the top of my slasher list.
I think it's a little divisive.
I guess I just don't see what there isn't to like. Like, I just thought it was fun. It was like, it didn't take itself too seriously, which I think a lot of these movies try to do. And I think that helped it. I don't know, maybe it's just something the Canadians put in the water there or something. I thought it was really good. Yeah. I think this is definitely worth a watch. I thought about buying this for physical media. Like, I really, really enjoyed this. And I remember kind of going into it like, oh man, what could this be like? And then when both of you said it was good, I was like, holy shit. I was like, this has to be watchable.
I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now, and the review score is 39%, and the popcorn meter's 52%.
Bullshit.
Eh,
Yeah, I think some people just are turned off by some of the older movies.
Sure.
I can
I
see
can,
that.
yeah, for sure.
More,
Yeah.
modern generation.
If it's got anything against it nowadays, I mean, that was how many years ago? It's the fact that it was that many years ago. Some of those just don't have the longevity, like Halloween, the first Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street, different stuff like this. But I thought this was kind of a breath of fresh air. It does have some of the tropes we all know and love, and that some people hate. I think it made the movie. I think it was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I would recommend this.
I think if you go into it with an open mind and looking through the lens of like, this was 1981,
Yeah.
movies weren't the same then as they are now. There's a lot to love here.
Yeah.
sure.
I recently watched a good chunk of this past year. I watched a good chunk of like a lot of 80s horror that I haven't seen before. Prowler, Burning, Sleepaway Camp. And this one definitely like holds its own. So definitely a good watch.
Derek, I remember me and you watched Maniac Cop.
Yeah.
And this is better than that. So,
Yeah.
how did you guys watch this? I actually, I'd rent this on Amazon, I believe. How'd you guys watch this?
I have the Blu-ray, which has both the theatrical
Cool.
and the uncut.
Shit, okay. Tyler?
I'd like to borrow that, Derek. I bought it on YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool. Right on.
Nice.
Yeah.
So guys, check this out. You will have to work for it a little bit. I think it's definitely worth it. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, Valentine's Day is in the air. If you're now a rom-com person and you want to do something a little different, this, I think, is a movie for you. This was worth a watch. Think outside the box office on this one, and we can't wait to see you guys next time.